Let's move on to our first question. Okay, I've put two questions down here, as you will see on the screen in front of you. They are linked. All right, first of all, what are your strengths? And secondly, what do you bring to this position, or what do you bring to this company? So I say they're linked because you're going to be talking about similar things. You are going to be telling the interviewer about yourself, what you are good at, what you do very well, okay, and how that strength of yours can then help out in the company. So it could be just how it could work in the team that you're going to be working with. If you are looking more for a management position, then again, it's going to describe yourself, your personality, your leadership skills, to show how you could then motivate that team that you are working with. A lot of people do find it very difficult to talk about themselves, particularly when we're talking about our strengths. We feel a little bit self-conscious, or as if we are boasting or bragging to say that we are very good at something. But in an interview, this is really important. You are selling yourself. You are selling what you can do and what you bring to this company, to this position. So we need to really persuade that interviewer that we are the best person for the job. So I would like you to think about, what are your strengths? Can you think of just a couple of things that you could list as your strengths? You might be able to come up with maybe 5, 6 different points. But I would like us to focus on just one, maybe two, that you can mention when you are answering this question. Another thing that I want you to keep in mind now, while you're thinking of what your strengths are, think about the position that you're applying for, and think about the company. So if you have maybe 4 or 5 different strengths that you could list, let's narrow them down and think of which ones would be the most appropriate ones for this position. Which ones would suit the company? We read their mission statement and we know what they do. Which ones are going to work best with the company? Let me give you some examples. Right, for example, if you are applying for a position as an accountant, your strengths that you want to focus on will be perhaps that you are very diligent, very logical, you don't make mistakes. It could be that you're very good with numbers. Maybe you excelled in maths in school. If you're applying for a position in sales, then the strengths you want to focus on are perhaps your communication skills. Are you very outgoing and friendly? Do you find it very easy to talk to people, even if you've never met them before? Another example, I used to work in IT, and for me, I was good at logical thinking. I am good at logical thinking. I still am. So for me, that was definitely a strength with IT. I had to look at networks, I had to troubleshoot them, had to analyze them, and be able to find the best route for the network. So these are strengths that I would offer if I was applying for a job in IT. So think about it. Think about your strengths. Okay. Think about the position that you're applying for and which one is the most relevant. And bring it down to maybe 1 or 2 strengths that you can talk about. We don't need a long list, just 1 or 2 that will really emphasize and show why you are the right person, the best person for this position. So now that we have had a look at what our strengths are, and hopefully you have chosen 1 or 2 that you can use which are relevant to this position and obviously true about yourself. So the second part now of answering this question is not just to then list words that you have. I'm logical, I'm analytical, I'm meticulous. We want to take it further. Okay, so when you answer this question now, I want you to think of your strength, and I want you to have an example that you can use. So you can describe how that strength has actually helped you in a situation at work. Right, so if you are good at troubleshooting, for example, okay, think of an example where it helped you. Tell the interviewer just briefly, it doesn't have to be a very long story, but tell them briefly about how that strength helped you to resolve a problem or to convince a customer to do something, to upgrade. Okay. Think about in your accounting position, whatever it might be, finance. Okay. How did that strength help you? Give an example of how you used it to benefit you in your position and also how it helped the company. Yeah. So we want to focus on the strength and the benefit that it had in your position, in your previous position, and how then the interviewer could see the possibilities of how your strengths could now benefit this company that you're applying at.